We're going to talk budget strategies, but first, the stock watch.
You need like a little ticker sound going on in
Ding,
the
ding,
background.
ding, ding. So, what Jason and I are doing here at the Fantasy Auction Nuts, we're not trying to tell you, which player to draft. We're trying to get you prepared for an auction draft to be to really dominate at the draft and to get the guys that you want. You're going to like some guys that we don't like, and we're going to like some guys that you don't like, but we're going to tell you what's happening in real time. And you can go to all these websites and you can see values for players, and they're going to give you their values, but we're going to tell you what they're actually costing in actual drafts and what we're seeing. And there's a few players whose stock has been rising. We've been charting since pretty much early June when people have started drafting. And the two top quarterbacks are rising, actually. They're both going for about $33 in $200 auction drafts. And let's do a little math lesson here. So if you're doing a $300 auction, you're going to take that value, you're going to multiply it by 1.5. If you're doing a $400 auction, you're going to take that value and multiply it by 2. And if you're doing a $100 auction, you're going to take that value and divide it by 2. And if you're doing a $150 auction, you got to slap your commissioner in the face.
He's messing with you on purpose.
So Lamar and Mahomes are both going for about 33, like I said. Lamar's rise has been slower. He started at 29. He was the clear number one in early June, and Mahomes was way down at 23-ish. So he's risen much more quickly than Lamar.
And I just did a draft 2 nights ago, and what I saw in the draft 2 nights ago is at least initially that that contract impacted his auction draft price, which it shouldn't, but it did.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be different about the Chiefs this year because of that contract, but
but his price was going up.
It's just perception, I guess. Also, Darren Waller, I don't know why, but his price has about doubled since June. He was a single digit auction tight end, and now he's over $15. So that's happened.
Well, and then you got the running backs too that are coming up. So here we have Saquon, who's jumped up. He was going for 57 earlier, and now we're seeing him closer to 65. So that's a $7 increase. So what is that? A little over 5% or so? No, a little under 5%. So you're seeing some increase there, and then a similar rise for Kamara as well. What I think you're going to continue to see as a trend here is some of these top tier players. I wouldn't be surprised if their prices continue to rise. And we'll talk about some auction strategies and how those impact players and what you're looking for. But I think you're going to continue to see some of these elite players, especially the running backs, their prices continue to go
up. Chubb, we try to give these graphs and charts in real time on Twitter, and you may have seen something, I think it was yesterday, about Nick Chubb rising in auction drafts. Also, Odell. Odell is rising. He's gone up slowly, maybe about $1 a week, but he's gone from 18 to 22 on average. And then there's some players that are on the plummet. Who's coming down, Jay?
Yep. So the one that I find most interesting right now is Courtland Sutton. His price is coming down. I was actually looking at, I think that Courtland Sutton and Michael Gallup are actually really comparable players this season. And I have them kind of back to back in my rankings. So looking as far back as we've been charting this since mid-June, we saw Courtland Sutton start the draft season going for about $28, which I think is overvalued. But his price has been coming down. He's down to $16 now. So his price has dropped $12 in just about a month. At the same time, the first couple of drafts we did, we're seeing Michael Gallup go for low single-digit numbers, about $4 or $5, and his prices come up to the last draft I saw. He went for $14. So those players' prices are converging, and I would expect that they'll probably kind of converge right about there and start to find some consistency there as well.
So this is reminding me of Larry Fitzgerald last year. If you were drafting in early June of 2019, you would have seen Larry Fitzgerald as your wide receiver 10. And who knows why, but people gained their senses when it came July and August, and he ended up in the single digits, actually. This is happening to Courtland Sutton, but isn't going to go the way of Larry Fitzgerald because Courtland Sutton is a fantastic wide receiver still, and Larry Fitzgerald was a fantastic wide receiver. And Sutton is the number one in an offense that's trying to do some things in the passing game, and yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's finding his level.
Yeah, I agree. Right now, he's coming off the board at wide receiver 18. You got to get all the way down to about wide receiver 27 or 28 before you get to single digits. I don't predict that kind of fall for Courtland Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
Brad, who else is coming down for us?
So there's two wide receiver ones that are coming down, Julio Jones and Chris Godwin. Julio's going down like $1 a week. He's 51, and then 47, 46, 45, 44 is where he's at right now. Godwin, it has gone down a lot, from 46 to about 35. And this is where I'm asking the question, because we're giving you the advice to not pay for a wide receiver one. But once you get somebody like Godwin, who has potential to be the one this year,
Mm-hmm.
when he's down at 35, we might like that value. When do you like that, Jay?
Yep. So right now, I see Godwin coming off the board as wide receiver 6. You kind of get that big five group that's going for $40+. And then Chris Godwin's the next guy to come off the board at wide receiver 6. He's going right ahead of Golladay and Evans. I have him ranked at wide receiver 5, so I'm okay with the idea if you're going to pay up for a wide receiver to take Chris Godwin here. But if he comes down just a little bit further, because right behind him is Kenny Golladay, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, I could see some hype start to build on some of those guys. If I can get, if Chris Godwin's price comes down a little bit more and I can get him at $31, $32 for maybe wide receiver 8 or 9 money, that's probably where I start to pull the trigger on Godwin. Right now, he's probably properly valued, but I don't think there's a lot of extra value there right now. So I probably want to see that slide just another couple dollars before I jump in on Godwin.
All right. And finally, the last guy coming down is Aaron Jones, and that makes sense. He was going for about $48 in $200 auction drafts. Now he's at about 40, and people are doing a little research and factoring in that touchdown regression, and he's falling into place as well, just like Sutton.
Yeah, $48 was kind of out of your mind for Aaron Jones, but I think Aaron Jones is actually going to continue to slide. When you look at that touchdown regression and then start to look at, we know the Packers want to run the ball more, but Matt LaFleur's been very clear about his idea of you need 3 running backs. Jamal Williams was really involved in this offense when healthy last year. Jones had a big spike in his catches when Adams was out. I actually think that at $40, Aaron Jones is going as running back 9, and that's probably still too high. I want to see that come down a bit more still.
All right.